sometimes a movie so good releases that you just can't help but sit down, look at that screen, and just be in awe. Like, that was not this film, but that same feeling of being in awe, looking at a screen, was very, very, very present here. I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not hate the film. Was it a bad film? Yes, it was very much a bad film. But I'm not gonna lie, just seeing how bad it was and how bad it got and like what they were doing, I was just kind of smiling through it. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, that's a decision. That's one of the things you could have done there. Yeah, no, that's you decided to go with bad writing. Yo, I did not expect that card to come out. So I'm gonna kind of like just give you guys my thoughts, non-spoilery, for Madam Web. Although to be fair, I don't recommend you watch it. Like, did I have fun watching the movie? Yes, and I will give it its credit for that, because I've had fun. But I don't think it's a reason that like everyone else is gonna be having not fun, you know? I had fun because it was so bad. I was just like enjoying how bad it was. But it wasn't like a fun bad either. I think it was like a meta bad. I don't think I can explain it. Point is, I would never recommend anyone see this film. I would not recommend it. But let's just start with like something. The directing. No. The decision making with like how like the action scenes are shot, how things just kind of happen during the movie, like some of the there are like flashback scenes, right? Or I guess I don't really know how to describe them, but like repeats of scenes kind of. And they are so long and kind of like, it's novel, I think, like the first 2 times maybe, but then it gets really fucking boring, like really boring to watch and to go through over and over again. And they just keep on doing that. And a lot of the action, by the way, is just like teleporting, basically. It feels weird because sometimes I feel like the movie has a point where it's like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, are we cooking here? We were not cooking here. We were not cooking. It gets like really bad, but there's like little glimpses of it. And I guess I'll get to it later with the actors, right? But Madam Web, Dakota Johnson, I think that's her name. She like has moments where her acting is, she doesn't want to be there. I think you could tell throughout the film she doesn't want to be there. But then there's like a brief moments every now and then where you can see a little bit of effort, like actually being there for it. And I don't think it's her fault by any means. I don't think any of the people who are like the actors or actresses, I don't think it's their fault at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Ever since Star Wars, I've always been like an actor and actress apologist. I've always been like, nah, that's not dumb. Because we've seen some of these guys in like other roles and they've done well. They've done good. They're not bad actors. With this one though, like the performances were just not good. And I think a lot of it, the credit for how bad those performances are isn't necessarily on them, but just on how bad those characters are written. Because they are so one-dimensional. And it's like, oh my god. They don't go through character arcs. Like, characters do not go through character arcs. I think there's like kind of like a fake attempt at a character arc, kind of. Like, they're trying to trick you into like thinking that something's happening, but it isn't. It's just not. Like, a lot of the side characters that you see in the trailers, they don't have any character progression. Like, they're like, okay, you're this thing. You are a blank character. That is all you will ever be. You will not develop past this point. Oh, you have this, oh my god, okay, I'll talk about this as well. But, here, just an example. I'll keep it non-spoiler, don't worry. Okay, so character, right, has blank trait. Right, and blank trait gets set up to seem like something that's a little bit negative, and that maybe they'll address it later on in the film, right? Like you do exposition for something with the intention of, oh, we'll address this later on. Don't worry, this will have a payoff. It doesn't happen. There is nothing there. Like, they set things up. They like do so much exposition that leads nowhere. It's like, why are you setting this up if it's not going to do anything? It's like they're adding time to the film. Oh, does our main character have any like arcs they go through? Do they learn something new? Oh, they don't. Ah, okay. I see what you did there. The action was kind of disorienting sometimes too. I'm not gonna lie. It was really weird with the CGI and the effects in general. Because sometimes they look okay. And I'm using the word okay very like okayly. But then they look awful. Like you'll see like an object falling, and it's like, whew, and you're like, what? That's not how physics works. I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it looked weird. It looked bad. It didn't look good. And that was what this film is all about. That's weird. That's bad. That didn't look good. And that's kind of what they do the entire time. I think it's oof. Oof, I think it's one of the films of all time. I'm not gonna lie, but I think a lot of it comes down to like very weak writing. A lot of it, and directing. Writing and directing, I think, are the main things. It's like no one gave a shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels like a script was written, and there was an idea, right? They're like, okay, we have a rough draft. We're gonna do this and this and that, right? And then you think that like in the second, third, fourth, I don't know how many, maybe it needed like 20,000 more drafts. Who knows? But eventually you get to the point where you're like streamlined. You're good. You got what you wanted. This feels like they threw everything on one script. They said, all right, just make your movie. So things get set up that have zero payoff. They have nothing that nothing happens. Like, for example, I'll give an example that's like, it's maybe a little spoilery, but it's whatever. It's honestly whatever. The characters, like the side characters, in the trailers, they give them powers. You see their powers, and in the movie, they set them up that they have powers. Right? In the future, they will have powers. And you think in this film that they'd get their powers at some point? Maybe, perhaps? I mean, that seems to be where we're going, right? Come on, you know that's not where we're going. They just don't get powers. And we get zero explanation on how they could possibly get their powers. There isn't some like setup for the next movie, which there won't be a next movie, but they do a setup for a next movie anyway. But there is no like setup for how they're gonna get it in the future either. It's like, what? 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 What are we doing? What are we doing? And this is what I mean about like how the movie is kind of fun for me to watch. It's because you just see how like you see these little things. You're like, what are they doing? God, I don't know. I don't know, man. It was one of the movies of all time. The villain, he's kind of funny, bro. The way he talks. There's like a certain thing to like his tone. It's almost like flat the entire time, but also sounds a little bit like odd. He sounds like a cartoonish villain, right? And I kind of liked him. I'm not gonna lie. I thought like, okay, I vibe with this. This is just, the movie's already terrible. I don't care at this point. I don't give any poops. So it's whatever. I have no interest in seeing him be good. But it's just like very inconsistent. Oh, this is like a big thing with, I guess, is inconsistency. Where it just sounds like very flat. There's no like passion, I guess. Is that the right word? Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know if it's the actor's fault. Like I said before, kind of. I don't think it really is. I think it's more, it comes down to directing and the writing being a complete failure. And honestly, just genuinely awful. Also, I don't think I remember any of the characters' names. I'm going to be on, oh, well, there is one, I guess. You know, he gets set up. There's a Ben Parker in the film. It's Ben Parker, guys. It's Ben Parker. Does he do something important? No. Well, yes, but not really. He could have been anyone else. He did not need to be in the film. There is a large amount of fan service. I call it fan service. I don't even know if that's what it is. But of like references. They're like, guys, did you catch that? We used the word responsibility during the film. Did you see that? Yo, no way, dude. That's awesome. Or like Ben Mary? What? But they play no role in the film except being there, I guess. But you could take them out very easily, kind of, and like even replace them with other characters. It wouldn't make a difference. It didn't have to be them, and it feels odd. It feels odd, and it's just weird. It's just weird, man. This is one of the movies of all time. I think that you should not waste your money on it. I don't think it's worth going out to see in theaters, cause there's like fun bad. And I don't think that people are going to get the fun bad that I did. I genuinely don't believe so. If you don't already go in with the mindset of like, this is going to be a bad film, awful film, I don't think you'll enjoy it. Even if you're one of those people, I don't know. I can't say. Honestly, I can't. because obviously you're looking at me. You see how much passion I have right now. It's because I kind of did enjoy the film. I kind of did like watching it. But I think objectively the film is terrible in every single way possible. I mean, I guess the music wasn't like offensive, so maybe not every single way possible. It wasn't very striking either. Anyway, whatever. It's whatever. I'm not here to talk about the music. That doesn't matter. They also just throw in like random characters, exposition stuff. Yeah, I think I mentioned everything for this film, TBH. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Let me talk about the quality of the film. I think the film, from the very beginning, it does its little exposition thing, and that's whatever. And then it does like another exposition thing, and you're like, yeah, okay. And then it just it keeps on going and going and going, and they keep on doing like the little setups, right? But by the end of the film, it's so messy. It's so like all over the place. It doesn't have like it feels like they kind of like made it up as they went. They're like, oh, okay, we're gonna go like this instead. This is what's gonna happen. It feels like this film was just made because they had to make a film. I don't know why this movie was made. I don't know why Sony keeps on making these Spider-Man universe movies when they're missing one very key component of the Spider-Man universe movies. And maybe this is their attempt to make it. I'd say that as if they would put like effort into it, but they don't put effort into their movies. And we know that Sony can make a good superhero movie. Spider-Verse is a good movie. This is made by the same studio. I don't know, maybe they're very far apart, and you know what, to be fair, keep them far apart. Keep them very away from each other. But like, bro, something is happening. They need to fix it. Like, something is like going very critically wrong in that side. The writing, directing needs to improve like tenfold, because it is just awful. And I feel bad for a lot of the actors and actresses who were in this movie that are like not bad. They aren't bad actresses and actors, but this is just like a stain, especially like ones that are starting out. I don't know. I think that the one of the characters, I don't know her name. I think she's like a newer actress. Sorry. And obviously, this is like, you like look at that and you're like, oof, because she's a one-dimensional character, and it's a shame. It's a shame to see it, because it's a waste. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of talent. It's like, come on, man. Maybe Sony will get it together. Maybe in Madam Web 2 we'll get a good movie. Maybe that's like the gimmick of Madam Web 2. Oh, also her powers are stupid. The way her powers look and like what she does is dumb. Yeah. I guess I want to mention one last spoiler thing. I don't want to go into spoilers for this one. Like, I feel like the movie is just so dumb, and like I think I've talked about everything. I don't want to talk into spoilers too much here, because I don't care to. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care to. But I will mention one spoilery thing. So if you don't want to hear it for whatever reason, you can leave. Wait, no, you can't leave. I haven't given you the score. So I think this movie, out of 10. Okay. Because of all its failures and just how bad it is as a film, a 2 out of 10. But this is a big but here. I enjoyed watching the film, and I had to take this into account. So as a movie, if I was giving it my score, if I was being like very super critical and I cared, a 2 out of 10. I think this is a bad film. The only thing giving it any points is those like brief moments where it does kind of shine a bit, where the acting is like a little bit better, a little bit. And I think that there are some jokes. I'm not gonna lie. Ben Parker, he makes some funny jokes in there. There are some funny jokes in the movie, which I was surprised to see, honestly. But like, I don't know, they had just have some jokes. Very little, not a lot. Don't expect too many. But I don't know, like there was like 4 or 5 things they said. I'm like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. No, I liked what you did there. But yeah, so I'll give it that. Just a 2 out of 10, I guess, because I still enjoyed the movie. And then I'll give it a fun scale for me. So this does not matter for the review or the score overall. It's still a 2 out of 10. But for the fun scale, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because I was still bored halfway through the movie when they just kept on yapping through all the exposition. But yeah. Anyway, the spoiler thing I was gonna talk about. Messed up thing happened at the very end. Bro, they were talking about Ben Parker, right? And they're like, oh my god, Ben is gonna have such a chill life, right? He's gonna be so cool. He's gonna be a cool uncle or whatever. And then what's her name? Madam Web. She just smiles and she's like, he's not gonna have it easy. She's making a joke that like Peter Parker's parents are going to vanish. I don't know if they die. I don't know what happens to them, to be honest. They're gonna die or something, and that he's gonna get shot and take care of Peter. It's like, what? You're smiling? You're making a joke? It's kind of messed up, man. So it's a little messed up. Tiny bit messed up. And also, I guess I'll talk about like the last spoilery thing. One more. Bro, the last scene when she's in the wheelchair looks so dumb, bro. She's like Professor X, but she isn't that. She's like, oh my god. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It looks so dumb, but it's so funny at the same time though. Like, it's cringe, but it's so funny though. It's so funny. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. This is my new channel, by the way, Kenj Apps. If you guys want to hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. If you guys want to sub, I mean, I'd also appreciate it. If you want to see more reviews from me, sorry, I just coughed there, my bad. Very unprofessional. Maybe you don't want to sub. But I want to be making more film reviews, and this is gonna be one of the years of all time for movies. So if you want to be a part of that journey, you want to see it like kind of go down, you want to hear my opinions on stuff, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I'd appreciate if you guys stick around. And if you guys have already seen the film, feel free to talk about it in the comments. I'd say put a spoiler warning. It's Madam Web. Put a spoiler warning anyway, just to be courteous, I guess. But like, I won't care. I won't care. And I guess that's about it. Have a good one, guys. Peace.